Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating and air, restoration, flood and remodeling services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
San Diego's crackdown on homeless encampments is underway. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Enforcement of the unsafe camping ordinance began today. KPBS reporter Jacob Ayer says the law prohibits tent encampments in many places throughout the city.
Spread across the city, there are some new signs that let people know there's no more unsafe camping allowed in certain areas.
It's going to do the same thing as the other existing laws do. It's just going to move people from one place to another.
While not too much appeared different in terms of enforcement on Monday, homeless advocate Michael McConnell says people living on the streets are going to be negatively impacted by this ordinance.
They don't have no empathy, no sympathy in their heart.
T was raised in Southeast San Diego, but now finds himself homeless living in Balboa Park. He spoke to KPBS after being told to move locations by police officers, but didn't want to show his face on camera.
They haven't been through certain experiences, but I feel like if everyone experienced everything like everyone else or goes through once, I bet you they'll have a whole change in perspective of life.
So how does the ordinance work exactly? Well, it's twofold. The ordinance bans tent camping in all public spaces throughout the city if shelter beds are available, and also bans tent encampments at all times in certain sensitive areas. Those are places like parks, canyons, and near schools, transit stations, and homeless shelters, regardless of shelter capacity.
The enforcement will be conducted by San Diego police officers.
District 3 Council member Stephen Whitburn introduced the ordinance earlier this year and says enforcement includes a progressive approach, from warnings to citations, and if needed, arrests.
The implementation is going to happen gradually over time. Generally, we're going to be starting in the areas around schools and in some of our parks. And other areas where there are particular concerns about public health and safety, such as around homeless shelters and such.
The enforcement period comes after the city opened safe sleeping sites with tents on city-owned parking lots adjacent to Balboa Park that Whitburn says will accommodate hundreds of people. But the overall shelter capacity is not nearly enough.
It's so hard to get into a shelter here in San Diego. About 2/3 of referrals to shelter are denied because of occupancy and other issues. There's just nowhere safe for people to go, so they end up right here in the park or on a sidewalk.
The council passed the controversial Ordinance 5-4 in late June. Jacob Ayer, KPBS News.
Homelessness is a growing problem in the North County as well. Coming up, how a shelter is undergoing changes to better help families with children. San Diego County's top transportation official is stepping down at the end of the year. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen says his push to move away from car dependence made him the target of conservative attacks.
Hassan Ikrada was hired as CEO of SANDAG, the county's transportation planning agency, about 5 years ago. He was the most progressive leader the agency had ever seen, pushing for more spending on public transit and less on freeway widenings. His most controversial proposal was to charge motorists based on how many miles they drive. He argues it's a fairer way to pay for infrastructure compared to the gas tax or sales taxes. But he told me the intense opposition it sparked, particularly among local Republicans, influenced his decision to leave.
There is no secret that there is an animosity between some board members and myself, and I felt maybe with the next person, the next CEO, he or she, will have a better time dealing with this board so they can continue the journey and can achieve more instead of spending a lot of time, fighting a political fight.
The so-called mileage tax is being removed from SANDAG's plans. Without it, there are big open questions about how San Diego will meet its climate goals, cut back on car dependence, and fund desperately needed improvements to public transit. Ikrada's final day at SANDAG will be December 29th. He's planning on moving back to Los Angeles and teaching university classes in engineering and urban policy. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
And before he announced his resignation, SANDAG CEO sat down with Andrew for an interview about the future of freeways in San Diego, and it's a bonus episode of the Freeway Exit podcast, and you can stream it now anywhere you listen to podcasts. It was the hottest month on record around the world, and now that it's wrapping up, we're expecting changes in the weather here in San Diego County. Meteorologist Bree Guy has a first look.
Well, monsoon is making a significant appearance, increasing that moisture and humidity across Southern California. Now, there is still going to be that chance for a few thunderstorms, especially as we head a little bit further inland. Flash flood risk, of course, gusty winds, dry thunderstorms, blowing dust, but it is going to be beneficial rain for some. That heat is also going to be trimmed down a bit, too. I'll tell you what areas are most at risk for the storms coming up. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is making one last push for support on smart streetlights.
The reality is most San Diegans strongly support our police department being able to use these tools to bring people to justice. And because of the significant privacy safeguards in place, I believe that the time is right to redeploy these technologies in our communities in order to keep us safe.
The mayor and police department are trying to bring back thousands of surveillance cameras in streetlights. Now that a new privacy ordinance passed, police also want to add hundreds of license plate readers. Police say the technology helps solve crime, but opponents cite privacy concerns. The city council is set to vote on the smart streetlight program's renewal tomorrow. Today is the deadline to register for the special election to fill a vacant seat on the San Diego County Board of Supervisors. District 4 residents who are registered by the end of the day will be allowed to vote. 4 candidates are running: Democrats Monica Montgomery Stepp and Janessa Goldbeck, and Republicans Amy Reichert and Paul McQuigg. Ballots can be returned by mail or dropped off at one of 27 locations. Voting centers will remain open through August 15th. And we have all of the information you need to get caught up on the special election, including interviews with all of the candidates. Just go to kpbs.org and click on the Voter Hub link on our homepage. A San Diego researcher finds lowering food prices as the product nears the expiration date could significantly reduce organic food waste. KPBS environment reporter Eric Anderson has details.
California's push to turn organic food waste into compost is squarely aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions from landfills. And a new UC San Diego study found that 133 billion pounds of food waste is generated in the U.S. each year. Researchers suggest grocery stores can do more to reduce waste.
If you walk into any grocery retailer in the U.S., most of the perishables are going to have the exact same price the moment they got there till the moment they expire and end up landfilled.
Drop the price as the expiration date nears, and stores boost the chances of making a sale. Retailers could also boost profits by selling more items instead of throwing them away. Sanders says fewer than a quarter of all grocery stores in the U.S. use any kind of dynamic pricing.
If you can at least change prices along the way towards expiration, you then decrease waste, in my findings, by 21%.
More than 10% of food waste comes when stores throw out expired produce. A byproduct of dynamic pricing is to make fresh food more affordable. California grocery stores and restaurants are already required to segregate organic food waste, to compost it, and to steer edible leftovers to the hungry.
You have to figure out what elements are actually still edible and recover those so we can distribute them to food banks.
LaCava says San Diego is adjusting to the new organic waste rules, and he's encouraged by the response. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
The federal government is launching a new website today to help people save on their student loans. Under a new plan, some borrowers could see their monthly payments drop to nothing, while others will save money over the course of the loan's lifetime. Chris Wynn is in Washington to break it all down.
With federal student loan payments set to resume in October, some borrowers are feeling the pressure.
We'll manage, but we're going to have to tighten it up again.
But relief could be on the way. On Monday, the Department of Education launched a beta website for the Biden administration's new SAVE program, an income-driven plan intended to lower monthly payments and reduce the amount paid back over the lifetime of the loan. Under the new program, income and family size will determine the payments for current and future federal student loan borrowers, with some payments dropping to $0 per month. To qualify for $0 payments, the income threshold has been increased from 150% to 225% of federal poverty guidelines, which translates to an annual income of $32,805 for a single borrower or $67,500 for a family of 4. Other borrowers could see their payments cut in half and canceled after at least 10 years of repayment when the program is in full effect next year. The initiative comes after the June Supreme Court decision striking down President Biden's loan forgiveness program.
I'm not going to stop fighting to deliver borrowers what they need.
But the plan still comes at a cost to the federal government. Estimates range from $138 billion to $361 billion over 10 years, depending on how many people sign up. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
Former NFL and San Diego State star punter Matt Ariza has filed a defamation suit against the young woman who accused him of rape. She says it happened at a house party near the SDSU campus on October 2021 when she was 17. The DA's office declined to press criminal charges in December, citing a lack of evidence. Ariza's accuser then sued him and 4 others in civil court. In his countersuit filed on Friday, Ariza claims that the woman was embarrassed about the incident and knowingly made false accusations to police and to the media.
I'm Jeff Bennett. Tonight on the NewsHour, why former President Trump is dominating the Republican primary despite the legal cases against him. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Shelters for families with children experiencing homelessness are scarce in San Diego County. Operation Hope in Vista is one of the few offering families a safe space and help for a new beginning. As KPBS North County reporter Tanya Thorne shows us, the shelter recently underwent some changes.
The sounds of children laughing and playing ball can be heard beyond the fence of Operation Hope, North County. For many of those children, the Vista property is a home they haven't had in a long time.
I just wanted to have a good environment for my son. Honestly, I wanted a good environment for my son where he has a roof over his head, food in his stomach, and he's safe.
Alani Chavez and her 6-year-old son currently live at the homeless shelter for families with children and single moms.
I just wanted to change my life. I was tired of being out on the streets.
Chavez and her family became homeless in 2015 when their rent money was stolen. Unable to come up with the funds, they were soon evicted.
So we packed everything that we could possibly can onto my son's stroller, and then we went to the welfare office in Escondido to see if we could get hotel vouchers, and we weren't approved for it. So we had to stay. I was sleeping in the park.
Since then, Chavez and her children had been in and out of homelessness before applying for the shelter.
I was just done. I was done being homeless. I just wanted to be settled. I wanted to be going the right path because I was not aiming for the right path. And I just wanted to be stable. I want to learn and be a productive mother because I'm expecting, and I just want to be the good mother that I wasn't with my other kids.
The organization has helped Chavez reach that stability. She recently opened her first bank account, got a job, and is saving towards securing housing.
Operation Hope North County is a homeless shelter for families with children and single women. We have a total of 12 rooms. Our largest room can hold a family of 7, and our smallest room can hold a family of 2.
Jimmy Figueroa is the executive director of the organization, a role he took on about a year ago.
To be able to come in and assist this organization and lead this organization post-COVID, and just like a lot of nonprofits, Operation Hope North County, we went through those trials through COVID.
Figueroa says COVID cut off many of the volunteers and donations the nonprofit depended on. As restrictions eased, volunteers returned and donations picked up again. Figueroa says it was time for bigger goals.
And one of the first things that I assess is we need to revitalize this organism, physically revitalize the space so it mirrors the support that the staff is providing, that it mirrors the support that our board and our community has provided for so many years. It just needed a facelift.
The property itself was an old clinic the organization purchased in 2012. The rooms families are assigned used to be old exam rooms and offices.
So all of our rooms, when families come in, everyone gets fresh linens. And then inside these rooms, what the families will see too, once the family moves in, is every family will get fresh toiletries as well. We have a laundry room here on site. When the families are with us, everything is taken care of for them.
The property recently underwent a complete renovation courtesy of a donation from North Coast Church. They helped transform the shelter with almost $300,000 worth of renovations.
From our flooring to our youth room, our kitchen space, furniture, the bedrooms, outside landscaping, paving. I mean, it was just so much that went into it.
Figueroa says the renovations helped with revitalizing the organization to continue helping struggling families.
Our program is designed to get our parents, the adults here at the shelter, stability and tools to be successful to find housing. But it's like, what are we doing for all of the kids here?
While they do have a youth room and activities for the kids, Figueroa says there's one place that is evident to be their favorite.
But what about outside? Because that's where the kids play. And how can we create a space for them that exemplifies hope, that exemplifies life, that exemplifies dreaming and believing, but also something that provides vibrant colors?
And for that, he turned to the help of local artists. Tomorrow, we take a look at the art that transformed a place of refuge into a place of color and hope for the children. Tanya Thorne, KPBS News.
It's the fourth most common cancer in the U.S., and a recent study is showing colon cancer is on the rise in younger adults. The American Cancer Society recommends adults at average risk start regular screenings at age 45. Mandy Gaither has some red flags to watch out for.
We are seeing colon cancer in much younger patients, under the age of 50.
Experts don't know the exact cause for this alarming rise, but they suspect some leading factors.
Obesity, smoking, alcohol, lack of physical activity, and those are the types of things we obviously try to eliminate.
While some patients may not see any symptoms, Dr. Salzberg says there are some signs to look out for.
Number one is rectal bleeding. Many patients think that it's hemorrhoids.
He says to see a doctor before deciding it's hemorrhoids and pay attention to symptoms like abdominal pain, unexplained weight loss, and changes in bowel movements.
That's the one thing. I always tell my patients, many patients are afraid of a colonoscopy, but I tell them there's nothing to be afraid about. It's really a simple procedure. And the fact is, it's preventable. If we do a colonoscopy, and let's say we find a polyp, we remove that polyp, well, that polyp no longer can eventually change into a cancer.
The American Cancer Society also reminds us when it comes to treatment, early detection is key. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Covered California will start using tax penalties against those who are uninsured to cut costs for enrollees. Changes include eliminating next year's deductibles for some enrollees, lowering copays for primary care visits, and reducing costs of generic drugs. But some premiums will go up by nearly 10%. Covered California leaders say the reductions will encourage enrollees to use their health insurance. The changes take effect in January. Sweltering heat continues to intensify as millions of Americans brace for what scientists are calling the hottest month in history. Patrick Cornell brings us more as excessive heat warnings remain in effect across the country.
Temperatures scorching above the triple digits across the United States as experts stamp July the hottest month on the planet in recorded history.
I just feel kind of, nauseated, and then I feel flushed. You can feel it. Your heart rate speeds up. Sometimes you have a little light headache and you just feel dehydrated and you got to have your water. So I have my water right here.
The historic heat wave intensifying in states like Arizona and others that have already experienced deadly impacts of extreme temperatures, prompting millions of Americans to heed excessive heat warnings from California, to New York City.
You gotta be like a lizard on a day like that. You gotta stay in the shade, you gotta move slowly, keep the heart rate low. Otherwise, you're just gonna be sweating bullets.
The European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service notes that global temperatures are likely the highest in at least 100,000 years, with the possibility of long-term effects.
You should be drinking every hour or so, getting 8 to 16 ounces in if you're outside.
The heat wave also hindering the battle against wildfires, intensifying in states such as Nevada and California, where the York fire has scorched 70,000 acres of the Mojave National Preserve. In this region, fire whirls or vortexes of flames and smoke are creating dangerous conditions for firefighters. Patrick Cornell, KPBS News.
All right, let's start you off with your weather headlines, what you need to know over these next few days. Well, monsoon brings showers and thunderstorms to the region, as well as that increasing humidity. So maybe feeling a little sticky at times, though we are going to be drying out after Tuesday. Here's your setup. We have high pressure situated right where you would need it to be for a monsoonal weather pattern. A lot of those raindrops dodging the state of Texas, but a little further west, well, we're not so lucky. We have widespread daily thunderstorms across the desert Southwest, even through SoCal. Flash flood risk, gusty winds. There is going to be a dry thunderstorm fire risk, too. Dry thunderstorms going to be possible, especially along the western tier states. Beneficial rain for some, blowing dust, though that heat is going to come down a little bit as that moisture and that rain pushes through. Now, tonight, we're dropping down to a low of 70, low clouds and fog. That can cause some visibility issues too, so just take it easy on the roads. Also, some storms going to be possible as we head a little bit further inland from Borrego Springs to Mount Laguna. Temperatures, though, staying pretty steady closer and closer towards the coast. Now, tomorrow, storms going to be erupting across SoCal. Not going to be a washout, but you could be caught under one of these heavier thunderstorms or two. San Diego hitting a high of 79, Borrego Springs 100, Mount Laguna 67. So those temperatures have come down slightly to right around those historical averages. Here's how it's going to look over these next few days. I'm going to take this from 8 p.m. Pacific time Monday. Still seeing a few thunderstorms erupting overnight. Still dumping some heavier rain as we head into Tuesday morning, and it's going to be sparse but still spotty in nature. But still, again, some of these thunderstorms could produce some gustier winds and heavy rain. Now, there along the coast, well, we're staying in the 70s all week. It is going to be a little humid for the start of the week with that increasing humidity. Inland, though, mostly sunny, but again, a thunderstorm or thunder shower still going to be possible. Mountain, similar story, especially Tuesday, though we dry out for the rest of the week. Highs staying in the upper 60s, low 70s, and highs in the triple digits with a thunderstorm in spots on Tuesday. For KPBS News, I'm meteorologist Bree Guy.
And here's another look at today's top stories. Enforcement of San Diego's unsafe camping ordinance began today. The law bans tent camping in all public spaces throughout the city if the shelter beds are available. It also bans camping in parks, canyons, and near schools at all times. Enforcement includes warnings to citations and, if needed, arrests. The head of the San Diego Association of Governments is stepping down. SANDAG CEO Hassan Ekrada submitted his notice to the board of directors Friday evening. His last day with the agency will be December 29th. San Diego County Board of Supervisors Chairwoman Nora Vargas will work with the SANDAG board during their search for a replacement. The Fleet Science Center is making education fun and free for families in underserved neighborhoods around the county. Over the weekend, children from San Ysidro were the first to experience a new community morning program. KPBS education reporter MG Perez was there.
There was a busload of families who traveled 17 miles from San Ysidro Middle School to a new Saturday morning adventure at the Fleet Science Center in Balboa Park. Yvonne Lasagada brought her 3 young sons to experience the sights and sounds of science. 2-year-old Pavel and his brothers Javier and Ethan were figuring it out as they went along.
Muy feliz y más porque en el museo ellos pueden estar tocando y pueden estar interactuando y pues no se reprimen las ganas de poder experimentar.
For the rest of the year, the Fleet Center will pick specific Saturday mornings to invite families from specific neighborhoods that are traditionally underserved. Round-trip transportation is provided, along with a complimentary breakfast and admission an hour before the center opens to the public.
Here at Fleet, you're able to explore through curiosity that you don't even realize you're learning, and that curiosity will allow them to see themselves as future innovators, creators, engineers.
For Enrique Ramos and his 2 children, this family field trip is taking them to outer space. The Fleet is known for its learning through virtual reality. A short wait in line leads to a quick spaceship adventure.
It's something new to us. It's really realistic, all the movements and all the sounds and images.
Like, it was so realistic, and the spacemans are like so cool.
These Saturday morning experiences are about access and availability to resources, providing hands-on learning, no matter what neighborhood you come from.
Darles a los estudiantes, a los jóvenes, esas oportunidades que tienen en otras comunidades, en otras ciudades, que ellos tienen que tengan las mismas oportunidades.
Next up, a community morning for the children of National City, who will be transported to the Fleet Center August 26th for free family fun and learning. MG Perez, KPBS News.
You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabolsi. Good night.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating and air, restoration, flood and remodeling services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following: and by viewers like you. Thank you.